Warmer, we're incorporating the UV index into our forecasts. Chief Meteorologist Tim Pandajis shows us how to use it to make safe decisions about spending time in the sun. New at 4:30.
The UV index represents the amount of sun's ultraviolet radiation reaching Earth's surface at any instant in time, and on a scale from 1 being low to 11 or greater being extreme. Now, the overall intensity of the sun's radiation varies according to many different factors. First up is cloud cover. When it's thick, it can block most UV radiation, but up to 80% of it can penetrate light cloud cover. So the myth you cannot get a sunburn on a cloudy day is false. In fact, those puffy cumulus clouds that we see on hot summer days, well, they can deflect the sun's rays and increase the UV radiation. Now, the time of day certainly plays a big role. Midday is when the UV radiation peaks, when the sun is highest in the sky. It typically lessens in the early morning and late in the afternoon. Now, ozone exists in our atmosphere and acts to absorb UV rays. The higher the level of ozone, the lesser the number of rays that will be able to reach the surface where you and I live. And no surprise here, land cover, such as buildings and tree canopies, greatly reduces exposure to UV rays. Now, for every 1,000-foot increase in elevation, the amount of UV radiation increases by 2% due to the air being thinner. UV radiation is strongest at the equator and lessens as you head towards the poles. And finally, the seasons. UV radiation peaks in spring and summer in the northern hemisphere and declines through the fall with lowest levels in the winter. So when you hear the UV forecast during our weather segment, remember that the number correlates to how strong the sun's rays will be that day and that it will be more likely to get sunburned if you are overexposed. Too much sun can lead to sunburn and skin cancer, sun sensitivity, eye damage, and premature wrinkling. Use sunscreen and apply thoroughly and often. Limit exposure when UV is at its highest near midday. Seek shade, wear sunglasses, and wear loose-fitting light-colored clothing. For 13 News Now, I'm Chief Meteorologist Tim Pandajis.